Welcome to Roxtalks, the podcast that helps network marketers grow their business on social media. I'm Roxanne Wilson, and I feel like this episode is kind of like a heartfelt episode. We think we know everything about network marketing and all the companies that are out there, but I'm willing to bet you probably have never heard of Noonday, or you don't really know everything there is to know about Noonday. And so I'm so excited to introduce you or reintroduce you or get you more familiar with the company that is Noonday. Noonday is a network marketing company that also happens to be a fair trade B Corp. And all those things we'll get into in a second, but I'm not here to just tell you what I know about it. I thought what better way to present it to you than by bringing on the person who introduced it to me for the first time. Her name is Kelly Gable-LaBelle, and she's a Social Stories Pro member I've had the pleasure of being with now for almost 2 years. It's almost her second 2-year anniversary in Social Stories. And her journey, how she got to network marketing and how she got to Noonday and what has kept her so involved in Noonday is really going to reach out to you. What's shocking is that Noonday has 1,400 ambassadors, which is shocking. And she'll tell you about that as well too. But I'm looking forward to you just feeling that it's the most wonderful time of the year. And this is a great time for you to not only see what we do as a network marketing channel, because when one does good, we all do good, but also maybe see how you might be able to help. So without further ado, I cannot wait for you to meet Kelly. She is phenomenal and hear her story. Let's dive in. It is the most wonderful time of the year, and you have to go happy holidays. However, the holidays lead to something else, and that happens to be the new year. Are you ready for 2022? I ask that in all seriousness. One of the things that I love to do at the end of the year is get you ready for 2022. It's great that you have goals, smart, non-smart, or otherwise, but a goal doesn't work unless you have a plan attached to it. One of my superpowers is helping you get really clear on a plan. And I'm going to go one further. Since you're a network marketer, a plan doesn't work unless it has a social media aspect. Not okay, I'll just post some things, but really how and when are you going to post it? Join me for the first time ever. I'm very excited to invite all of you to the planning session. In fact, we typically do it members only. Everyone is invited to join me on December 18th. It is live. And we're going to go into your plan that's going to get you to your goals, including social media. You're going to learn the blueprint that I use and coach and teach on how to get to your goals, whether they're 30, 90 or beyond. You're going to be blown away. I'd love to see you there. It is free, and this is not something we're hiding under a bushel. Okay. So make sure you're inviting your upline, downline, sidelines, people in other network marketing companies, because when we plan, we do things with intention, which means we don't get desperate, which means we don't do things that make us all look bad. I cannot wait to see you there. To get registered, just go to socialstoriesmembership.com/2022. I'll see you there. Kelly Gable-LaBelle, how are you? It's good to have you here.
I'm doing great. Hi, Rox.
Good. How are you feeling about being on the podcast?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I've followed your podcasts. I love what you are throwing out to everyone. I love your support too of network marketers. So.
Well, I mean, yes. And I meant, thank you for all that. I appreciate that. I mean, you're in Social Stories. She's a Social Stories Pro member, as I've told y'all. So it's good to have you here, but I'm just asking it from like a woman to woman standpoint. How does it feel being on being recorded and chatting right now?
Well, it feels good. I am a little nervous. I haven't really done too much of this. I did something with you earlier this year, but
this is only the beginning. The only reason I asked you that is because I know that a lot of network marketers are afraid to get on camera and afraid to get to be recorded and be on a podcast. So thank you. But when you're doing great things, people are going to ask you, just like I do, to be on this because your messaging is so wonderful. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you today is just about your journey. So I know we're going to talk about Noonday, and I'm so excited to talk about Noonday because it's phenomenal. But can you tell us what got you into network marketing in the first place?
Right. So I had a very large shift for many reasons around 7 years ago, and I was searching for something. And really, Noonday was not my first journey into network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying other things, looking around. I think a lot of network marketers do this.
They do.
I believe it's pretty common.
Mm-hmm.
And through a friend from another MLM, I was introduced to Noonday, and I did a show for her. And
Can I pause you though? I want to go back to my question. What made you get into network marketing in the first place? Why did you decide
in the
to try
first
it?
place?
Yeah.
I was looking for a change. I had been working in social work for decades, working with children and families, and I needed something different. Part of it's burnout. I think many people in the field of social work, as we've seen in the pandemic, particularly, that's really been highlighted. Those fields, those helping fields, are riddled with burnout. So yes, there was some burnout there. I did become disabled, and I was trying to figure my life out from there when it was a sudden thing, and it really threw me for a loop, as I would imagine it would anyone. I started to lose my vision, and it became quite difficult to do everyday tasks.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard.
Thank you for that. I did not know that. I mean, I know that you had lost some of your sight, but I didn't know that was something that happened later in life.
Yes, it happened. All of this happened around 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So it shook me. I think as large changes for anyone does. I lost a job that I had had for, I think, 15 years. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't know what was next. Mm-hmm. Many women, I believe men too, but I see it more in women. When we become 50, we become invisible. And that was happening to me. And I felt it. So there was that core, it was sort of a knowingness that women experience this. And I believe that women all over the globe experience this in different levels of intensity.
Wow. That's so interesting, because when you see the number of network marketers in the age range, yes, there might be something to the fact that really, when you talk about 50, 60, 45 to 65, there's a lot of network marketing females who are in that age range. And it makes you wonder if that's part of that invisibility and wanting to be seen and wanting to feel like you're making a difference.
Yes. I often wonder that in our sessions with the other women, our meetings, our trainings. I often think about that. And just also when I'm out speaking with other women about the opportunities in network marketing.
So this went down a road that I'm loving, because I think that's really interesting insight. And I want to just praise you, because you were feeling invisible. And frankly, sometimes when we feel that way, or we feel like we don't matter as much as we know we should, and as much as we do, sometimes people recluse and do nothing, or go into depression, or go to some dangerous outlets to try and feel something again.
Exactly.
So I just want to applaud you for saying, let me find something new to do. Let me try a whole new channel. Let me do network marketing. And man, the network marketing channel is lucky to have you over the last 7 years. And
thank you.
So you find Noonday. And I want to just highlight, I love the way you said, a lot of network marketers do try different network marketing companies. What's funny is, and I'm going to start calling it like, what was your network marketing graveyard, or your ex-boyfriends or ex-girlfriends in network marketing? But nobody talks about it unless they're in a safe space. And then they typically go, oh, I actually was in blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I did blah, blah, blah too. And I'm like, shut the door. That's awesome. I think that is the way that it should be. I mean, most people don't marry the first person they meet. Some of you do, and kudos to you, but most people don't. So we shouldn't expect that we would marry or have to stay with forever the first network marketing company we find. We're figuring things out. Wouldn't you say?
I absolutely agree with you. I believe, there's a statistic about careers that has always stuck with me, that people have, and it's probably changed now. But, back when I was beginning my careers, it was 3 to 4 careers in a lifetime. Now I probably think it's many more, because people are switching things up so much, which is a great thing, that people find that freedom to do that. I think when you begin in network marketing, it's the same sort of nuance.
Yeah.
Different network marketing choices are really like different careers. Because when you think about it, there's such diversity in the landscape of network marketing. You could almost choose anything. You can look at what your core interests are. And had I been thinking that way 7 years ago, I would probably be where I am today.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, I didn't know what I was just diving in and trying things.
Well, that's not how we enter, right? We enter because we had a product that gave us some type of transformation. Our friend was in it. And we're like, okay, I guess I'll sell beef jerky, even though I'm vegan.
Right. Because I love beef jerky.
Yeah.
And I want to get free beef jerky.
Right. Not, wait, this is actually a business. So maybe I want it to go along with the things that I usually talk about and I'm really passionate about. It is the common thing. And as you know, in social stories, we always get to a point where, as people are learning how to create their social media funnel, where they have it and they learning how to brand themselves, because it's all about marketing, there's that epiphany of, oh, wow, yeah, I really should be doing this other company, but I'm here now. And they have to reconcile. It's not something that I like throw out there, but once you realize your brand, sometimes you realize your brand does not actually fit what you're selling.
Yes. And I think, that's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
That's a journey. I mean, I believe that there are many people in network marketing who did start out the way I did, because I was there for the free beef jerky and I didn't recognize it at all as a business. I didn't think of it as a business. I saw these people making all this money. I was sort of like, whatever, because I did walk into it with my own bias.
Mm-hmm. A lot of us do, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of us do. And by the way, she doesn't actually sell beef jerky. That's just, we're using that as code.
Yes, it's a big code.
You're going to get messages going, what is this beef jerky company? I need to know about it.
Yeah. No, I don't sell that. I've actually sold many, many, many different things. So
you don't have to tell us the companies, but what were the products that you sold?
Well, skincare, which I still am doing. I've done cleaning products. I've done vitamins. I'm trying to think of what else. It's like, cooking. How do I say that? Supplies.
Yeah.
Really cutting edge cooking items, which are great. And now, of course, I'm with Noonday.
And the social worker, which I just found out recently, you were a social worker, you mentioned to me, and I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. I remember when you found Noonday and you kind of stumbled into it. And you're like, it's great. I'm loving it. And then a month later, you're like, this is my passion. And I was like, wow, she is like noonday to the noonish day, like to midnight. Amazing. And I love that so much. You said earlier that there is really a network marketing company for everything, but I don't think people realize there really, really, really is. I don't even know all the network marketing companies, and I know a lot of them. And so I think it's exciting and interesting that you found one that is all about fair trade and is a B Corp and all things. So if you were, I'm going to give you literally like in an elevator ride, a 1-minute elevator ride to explain to us, like we're third graders, what is Noonday?
Noonday is a fair trade B Corp company, or MLM, that goes into different countries. Most of them are developing, and identifies and works with artisans to help them become entrepreneurs. The idea is that, and it's what we do. We work with those artisans. They teach us about what they're doing. And then we give them, in turn, marketing ideas. We teach them business. We sometimes help them build their workshop. It's a partnership. It's a true partnership.
And then but there's one other piece of it, right?
Oh, right. There are ambassadors. So the ambassadors are working with Noonday here stateside, and we represent those artisans. Is that the piece you were looking for?
Yeah. The part of how it's actually an MLM.
Sorry. So that's how that works in microcosm. That's kind of how it works. There are only 1,400 of us.
That's crazy.
In the States. We're a group of hardworking people, most of us women. The majority of us are women. That's
amazing. How long has Noonday been around?
11 years now.
Go ahead. Sorry.
We had our 10-year anniversary last year.
Wow. And there's only 1,400 of you. That is insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. So in a way, it's like a new company, even though it's been around for 11 years.
Right. I think if you were to look at it in the business world, quasi-corporate world, you would look at it as a startup.
Yeah.
It has all of those nuances. It was an idea that a woman had, Jessica Honegger, and she actually just went to Africa with her husband to Kenya, and they wanted to adopt their son, Jack. And they were looking for a way to adopt. In turn, they met this amazing woman, Jalia, she and her husband were selling paper bead necklaces. Jessica and her husband bought a bunch of them, brought them back to the States, and had just this organic trunk show in their home so that they could get money together to adopt their son. Because if you know anything about adoption, it's really expensive. It's really tough for people. And they were able to do that. So there is a component to Noonday that particularly supports families, adopted families.
Wow.
Yeah. I have not done a show yet for that, but I would love to.
That's amazing. I did not know that. You know what I think is so interesting too is this. The reality is, if you are in a developing or a developed nation that doesn't have a direct pipeline to, I don't know, American consumers, because we love to buy, right?
We are.
How are you going to get your wares? You're not going to get them there, which I love it so much because you're helping so many people along the way. And I'm going to guess that there's 1,400 of you ambassadors. So I'll translate to distributors or consultants and other network marketing companies, because it's like such good work that just the word needs to get out more. Seriously. Now tell us, when we buy something, and I know you've got some things hiding in the background, I see them, which I love, that are made by artisans all around the world. Yes. How does what does that mean? If I buy something from you, what does that tell me? What does that mean? How does that work?
So I just want to pare it back.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure I understand that question. When you personally buy something, you're asking what the journey was of the product?
I'm asking can I sit there and say, gosh, I'm helping someone, and how am I helping them?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. So what that means is, so each product, of course, is made specifically in a community. And it's generally started by one person. Many of these people are typically women in their communities because they are impoverished, they have the children, they need a way to make money. Mm-hmm. Their options are limited and scary. They're really, really scary, demeaning choices for them. So they have found a way to make things. To get that product to us, they need help. So when you buy a product from Noonday, you can know that that particular purchase choice that you've made will go toward $250. And each time we reach $250, we support one artisan and their entire family for 1 month. That's everything. Education, water. We don't think about it in this country, but clean water is not something that is common for people in other countries. Luxury. Yes, it is a luxury, unfortunately. Food, clothing, the roof over their heads, the product, the materials that they need to continue their entrepreneurship. They absolutely need materials to continue that.
Yeah. So 250 American dollars, every time you hit that amount, every time you, from selling their, and what I love is what you're selling, it's dollar for dollar. So it's not like, okay, so that bag was $50 and that's really only $20 going to, that's not how it works. Like if something's $50, that's $50 that's going to the 250. But we can feel good about knowing that we have actually funded an artisan for an entire, and their family and everything they need, like in a beautiful big bow. Yeah. Just like that for a month.
Yes. Yes. And so it is a feel good. Oh, so every single product you buy has a story behind it. So if you're gifting someone, you're gifting them someone else's story, someone else's story of triumph and success over true despair.
What a great way to be connected. And I feel like over the last year or so, because 2020 feels like it's been 2 years long.
Oh gosh, I know.
We haven't actually, like, sometimes I feel like disconnected, or it's hard to know how you can make a difference. There just seems to be so much going around that it's like, how do we help it? There's so many things, but this is like a clear-cut way that you can help. But I want to be clear about this too. So I know Shiloh had something to say about it, but
she did.
Yeah. So you do still make money as an ambassador.
Yes, of course, because this is a business. This is a business where, everybody is profiting. Now, what is really important, I think, because I found out this is a fallacy that people believe about fair trade, is that they believe that the fair trade companies like Noonday set prices. That is not true. The artisans set their own prices. Is there education about marketing, like using, 20% of your sales for marketing? Yes, there's a lot of education that we give them about business, finance, and marketing so that they can run a viable, profitable entrepreneurship. But they set their prices. Nice. So, and they factor in percentages for the ambassadors because they realize that we are their representative here.
Wow, that is so cool. I did not know that. So when you say that you go to the artisans and to the communities and you teach them business skills, they're getting like a business degree, basically, in a lot of ways, a practical how to run a business. I say a business degree, but they're real time. It's almost like you're out there doing it and you're getting the skills and acumen, but you guys are giving them dignity as well too, by letting them set the prices.
Absolutely. Wow. Absolutely. And, the way I've been able to talk about that dignity piece for people here in the States, because let's face it, we are the consumers of the world. And I think it's hard for us to relate to that piece of the need. And where our products come from and how we get them. So what I talk to some people about, and there's a group that can understand this, is that I liken it to when you've lost a job or a career. And when that's happened to you, you lose an entire piece of yourself and you lose a piece of your dignity. And that's a hard thing for even us in this country to get over.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it in terms of a place where there's little opportunity and so much undignified work. So we are supporting them in their dignity. This is their business. They set the prices. They think about their own chain that happens, the logistics, the whole thing, because the products have to get here too.
Right.
I mean, we've seen that.
We know how that works.
I think everybody's thinking about that.
And I should disclaim that you guys don't sell the product unless you actually have it in the States.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's not like,
so,
just kidding. You had to wait a while.
Yes, right.
Because we've all experienced that.
Here in 6 months, maybe.
I don't live far from the barges outside in the Pacific Ocean. Just let me know which one it's in. I'll go swim and pick it up for you. It's all good. No, I think that's amazing. And we are tiptoeing and pussyfooting around some of these undignified jobs. But I do want to mention that you even have a complete line that is made by women who have been freed from sex trafficking. Isn't that correct?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm glad you're bringing that up because I happen, of course, to have a piece.
Oh, good.
Right here. This is one of the newer pieces. And it is, I don't know. Are you able
Yeah,
to
I do. I see the Star of David and it's beautiful.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is handcrafted.
I'm sorry, give me 1 second. For those who are listening, not watching, she showed a pretty gold necklace, and there was a diamond shaped medallion with a Star of David engraved on it.
Yes, it's actually, I think they call it embossing. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think that's the artisan term for that. I'm still learning myself. So in Southeast Asia, there's a group, I might get this wrong, called Starfish. And Starfish is definitely an organization to watch. They work specifically in that area. They go in and they rescue women from sex trafficking. They help them, they get them out. But one of the issues for them was, how do they stay out? How do they survive? How do they make a living? And that's where Noonday comes in. And we go and we have taught them how to be entrepreneurs on their own. And that's where our storyline collection, I'm showing you this box because each and every single storyline piece comes in its own box. And it is the name of the woman who made it is inside.
Wow. So B made that. And on the outside of the box, for those who are listening, it actually said where
her story
and share hers.
Yes. It will say where your story, share hers.
I love
so
that.
Your story would be, why you chose that necklace, because there are many different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, her story is one of from dark despair to hope.
Yeah.
And a future.
That's so special.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to highlight that because what I've heard you say, and I think what resonates with people who are listening, and listen, y'all, if this is tugging at your heartstrings, there's different ways that I think that you can help. And the reason I wanted Kelly on here is because it's important to know that there are network marketing companies doing this, but you might decide that you want to have a network marketing like event. I mean, you might want to host a party. You might decide you want to become a Noonday ambassador. Why the heck not? And have this as another angle. All the time I talk to network marketers who love what they're doing, but are like, you know what? I have this audience and I would like to use my bandwidth and my reach in ways that can make a difference. And this is a wonderful way to do it.
Right. So it really is. When I was involved in other MLMs prior to this, there was such a push for do good. And some of it, quite frankly, felt really forced.
Sure.
It did not fit my personal belief systems. And it felt more about the product. And I get what they were doing. And I think it's always good to give back in any way we can to our community and to communities across the globe. But when I fell upon Noonday collection, I thought, wow, this is it. Because, we're spending money anyway. We are, whether you're going to admit it or not, you're spending money. I know people that go into certain places for one thing and they come out with like $100 worth of like cotton balls. I mean, and that's right. I mean, I've done it a lot. Many of us have done that. If we're really stopping and being thoughtful about our money, where it's going and what we're doing, we can make really impactful decisions that will change someone's life forever, the path of an individual's life.
I love that so much. And Noonday makes it so easy to do. Kelly, thank you for this. I appreciate you so much. And I'm really excited about all that you're doing. I love to see you flourish. It's an honor to have you in the Social Stories Pro group because I get to talk to you on the regular, and she's doing amazing things. One of the things I love about your heart is that it's in a good way. You always want to do more. You'll come in and say, oh, I only helped 17 artisans this week. Yeah. And I'm like, seriously? Only? Yes, I think that's pretty dang good. That's probably the thing that I have to coach you on the most is perspective on all the change that you are making. But you are such a, you're such a joy to have, like I said, in the group, and it's great to be on your journey and see where it's going because it's going in great places.
Oh, Rox, thank you.
One question for you, and then I will relinquish you, although you've been amazing and we could just sit here forever. I'm curious, if someone was looking at or considering social stories, just general social stories, why should they join?
Oh, to gain focus and perspective. If you've come to the point with your network marketing where you're thinking, I'm not doing this to get free stuff anymore or as a hobby, or even if you are doing it as a hobby, but to gain that professional edge and also the community. Because let's face it, when you are working in network marketing, you may have the company that you're working with, correct? But it's a lonely world. You're not going into an office every day. I think most of the United States can relate with that now because of the pandemic, and you do begin to feel isolated. Social Stories definitely brings you into a world where you can get different perspectives from different professionals. And that is so valuable.
I love that. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I know I didn't tell you were going to ask that, but I'm curious because you've been with us now for, I hope forever, but it's so fantastic having you in the group. And
I think I started January of 2020.
Is that right?
Yeah. In very small ways, like buying little things that you, so, I just want to point out to folks that Rox offers these wonderful little packages. I can't remember what's being offered right now, but if she offers them at these amazing prices, I would say jump in, test the waters, buy something that you can get your head wrapped around or that you've been questioning in yourself and in your own business, and try that out and do it to the best of your ability, and then keep going. You will discover things within yourself as a business person that you absolutely never even knew were there.
Love that so much. Thank you for that. And yeah, we do have one going on to kick off 2022. So check it out. It's a social stories, social templates club, and the business builder tracker all in one like sweet bundle together. So
it's an awesome bundle. It really, that is I have all of those. And that's an incredible bundle. It's a steal.
Thank you. I didn't even tell her how much it was. She said it's a steal.
Well, I know how much it is.
Like how much it's actually worth. Yeah. You're like, okay.
So I know what the actual worth of it is. So I'm telling you, anyone who's listening, that is a steal.
I love that so much. Kelly Gable-LaBelle, you are phenomenal. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Where would you ideally like us to come find you? Because I know this is just sparking questions about Noonday and how we can get involved. And if this, I think this is going to be December, but I'm not sure. You've been having a December going on. And if you check her out on social media, you'll hear about that. So where do you want us to find you?
Right now, Facebook. I do have an IG page, and I think that you have that. And I think you have my Facebook link. But right now I'm doing so much more on Facebook. I'm just seeing a lot more traffic there. And that's why that's why I'm focusing there.
Awesome. And so we'll make sure that link, what's that link? So we can, for people, and it'll be in the show notes as well too, but what's
my Facebook link?
Or not the link, but is it just what name is it? Or would you want
it's Kelly Gable-LaBelle.
Awesome.
So if you go to the business page, it's Kelly Gable-LaBelle. If you go to my profile page, it's Kelly Gable-LaBelle.
All right. We'll find you there. Thank you so much.
Right.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Rox.
Take
Love
care.
you.
Love you
Bye.
too. Bye. As always, it's been such a joy to be here with you. Isn't Kelly amazing? Love her. And I hope that sparked a little goodness in you. I know it did. So a little behind the scenes right now, we're recording this and it's December 7th. People have been asking me about my Remarkable. It got held up and I don't know, missed some plane, but it should be here any day. So I'll keep you posted. Thank you for reaching out and asking me about that. We are just getting ready for the end of the year. I have taken time over the last couple of weeks to really plan and carve out time to spend with my family. Y'all, I've been that network marketer who was getting orders and recruiting all up until the ball dropped and missing and being really not very present for my family because I was trying to get to some goal. And I've been on the side where I got to the goal and I've been on the side where I didn't get the goal. And I have to tell you that regardless, if I had to do them all over again, I would have just spent some time with my family and not been in the other room. I don't want that for you. So I really would love and I encourage you to carve out some holiday time, whatever that looks like, make some time and be jealous of that time. Because if we haven't learned anything over the last couple of years, our time is precious. It's valuable. Golly gee willikers, we're going to make it happen. All right. So anyway, there's that. I am going to be taking some trips. Did you see football this weekend? Oh my goodness. Baylor was in the Big 12 championship and we won. And then Michigan was in the Big 10 championship and we won. So I am like still in a football haze of wonderfulness. So excited. Even though I'm going to the Rose Bowl, because that's where I go when I can each year, my heart will be in two other places as well on the first of the year. Go Blues, sick and Bears. Alas, I digress. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time and that life is good. And if it's not, I hope that you're able to find a little glisten of wonderfulness and just know that I see you, here for you, and I'm thinking about you. You are such a joy, and I hope that you know how much you mean to me. Thank you so much for being here and listening to an episode of Roxtalks. Share it with someone. Again, we're not hiding under a bushel. And I'll see you next week for another Roxtalks. Oh, I didn't forget. You're not ahead. You're not behind. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Mwah. Take care. Bye.